Hey, welcome to the Social Circle Jerk podcast. This is your host, Echoplex. Sitting across from me is my co-host, Lucas. Oh, the beast that slouches towards Gamora.
Oh, shrugs.
Shrugs. Whatever.
Shrugs, slouches, whatever. He's lazy. Lucas is lazy. It's all right.
That's awful to say about yourself, sir. But
it's true, though.
Very poignant.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what that word means anyway.
Poignant?
Yeah.
Very on the mark.
See? Nailed it.
Maybe.
Accidentally.
I have to look it up. I'm not sure.
Oh.
But I assume that's what it means. I'll have to check on that.
All right. Just make sure your microphone's not too far away from your face.
Hello?
Because you were coming in kind of low. Oh, I don't.
How about that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
That sound better?
Yeah. I just don't want to have to, do a lot of editing since it's my job. So maybe I'm the one
So who's the lazy one?
Maybe I'm the one that slouches. There you go. You can be the one that shrugs, and I'm the one that slouches. It's the two beasts that...
Shrug and slouch.
Yeah, there you are. But anyway, so tonight we're going to talk about the Singularity, which is
goodness. What is the Singularity?
It's something I've been trying to talk to my friends about for about, 2-3 years, something like that. And I keep bringing it up, and as soon as I start talking about it, it's so horrific. In their minds, they shriek in terror and run away.
It's so horrific, I have no memory of him ever bringing it up.
Oh, actually, what it is they fall asleep. That's why they have no fucking memory, because you just sit there and you start talking about...
That's true.
Yeah.
Because usually when I talk to Plex, it's about 30 minutes later I black out, and then I go drool all over my face, so I'm not sure what exactly just happened. So
that's kind of weird. I don't remember this ever happening. I thought that only happened.
You were kind of into it, see, so you were just trying to get your points across, and we were just,
So, for anyone who doesn't know, the Singularity is a theoretical moment in time when artificial intelligence gains greater than human intelligence.
Is this like the Terminator?
Possibly.
No? Possibly?
Possibly.
Okay.
I mean, because a lot of this is theoretical future stuff, so there's no way to predict what's actually going to happen. I mean, tomorrow... something horrible could happen and almost all of mankind be gone. We could wake up, black hole come streaming through. But that's what a lot of people don't understand about a black hole coming through, our little neighborhood here called our solar system, is that we would notice, but we probably wouldn't be able to do a whole hell of a lot about it. I mean, we'd probably just in our trajectory around the sun. But
trajectory?
Yeah. We'd probably be slung right into it or something crazy like that, especially if we'd have to sit there and watch come through. Probably wouldn't, you'd probably be able to see it interacting with the Kuiper belt. I mean, you'd see it interacting with the Kuiper belt first, which is, anyone know, raise your hand, anyone here that knows what the Kuiper belt is? Anyone? No, nobody? Okay. The Kuiper belt is a huge fucking baseball-like thing that surrounds our solar system. No, I mean, it's actually, what do they call it? Something sphere.
Dyson sphere?
Yeah, Dyson sphere. I was about to say that. Thank you. You actually could hear the D rolling out there. But the Dyson sphere, it's actually something a lot like that. I mean, we're actually surrounded by tons and tons of asteroid debris all around. And, and it's part of right where the sun loses its gravity is where most of it resides. I mean, like Voyager and whatever the other... Galileo, what was the other satellite that traveled out of space?
Voyager. Only ones that know were Voyager and Galileo.
There you go. Yeah. Oh,
is it Galileo?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it could be.
Fantastic.
That's our NASA portion of the show right there. Apparently, we're so. God damn. We should really research some of this stuff before we start talking about it.
We've displeased the great god, Degrassi Tyson, so...
Degrassi Tyson. That is an actual awesome name.
Yeah. Didn't he create Degrassi Junior High? Was that his
I think it's Degrassi.
Degrassi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really? Oh my god. That was a staple in like a lot of young people's households. I mean, I know they came out with a couple of interpretations of it after that. I mean, I know Degrassi kept going for a long time on Nickelodeon. I mean, what was it? They took it off. I believe they have like Nick Teen or something like that.
I used to watch it on Channel 2 when I was younger. I didn't know what I was watching.
Degrassi?
It had a catchy theme song, and they were going to school. That's all I remember.
Oh my god! I mean, like by the end, by the end, they had people coming out and like premarital. I mean, not pre. Oh God, I
I know
sound
Jay
like
and Silent Bob showed up one time.
for real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually have not watched that show ever in my life, but I know that they had some pretty racy topics.
Yeah.
From the time that a couple times I was flipping through the channel and like would catch like Ren and Stimpy or something like that on the same channel, because it's a Nickelodeon project, I believe, completely, right?
Degrassi Jr., huh?
Yeah.
No, it's Canadian.
Is it?
Canadian Broadcasting Company, yeah.
Oh,
They
wow.
might have sold off some broadcasting rights to Nickelodeon.
Syndication.
Or syndication rights.
Yeah. See.
That's where the money is, folks.
Yeah.
Make 100 episodes, then sell it off. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's actually one show that I was hoping would never make it to 100 episodes, which is kind of weird.
What's that, Degrassi?
Oh no. It's just some other episodes. I mean, can you imagine a show like? Oh my God! Wait a minute. What were we actually talking
The
about?
Singularity, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
my God!
Where artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence.
Son of a bitch. Well, actually, now you know what it's about.
So tell me more about the Singularity. What exactly is? I know we've already said it's like artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So tell me a little bit more about this, because I'm not real sure.
All right. There's actually a couple different perspectives about exactly when it'll occur. Different futurists have predicted that whenever it occurs, it'll just happen suddenly, and it's something that's set to happen within the next 100 years. So it's to happen anywhere between. I know there has been a timeline set up for the singularity to occur, but see, that's the thing is like a lot of people don't know exactly the difference between post-humanism, pre-human. They don't understand that factors for identifying exactly what will transpire after the singularity are impossible. No one can predict anything past the singularity because we have no idea how a hyper-intelligent being will react to the universe.
Wow. So we can't theorize? Is it impossible to theorize?
That's exactly it. Like most futurists, futurists like Ray Kurzweil, they run out of predictions around the year 2099, and that's it. They can't perceive the universe after the singularity. They know, we know what's going to happen inside the universe. We know, what's going to happen relatively close proximity to our timeline going forward. But after 2029, pretty much all bets are off. And then you go 2045, they have predictions all the way up to 2099, and that's, because imagine you talk to someone. Oh man, there's actually a really great book because they were talking about, imagine like the first guy who saw an electric calculator discuss this. He said, this right here will be a way to dumb down our children if you allow if school kids were ever allowed to use electric calculators. That guy, fucking genius, because you know what? That's one thing that I found. The more I used autocorrect on my phone, the more dependent I was on the phone to spell my words for me, and I would find myself becoming frustrated, being like, "Come on!" and I would just not even try to think of the word. I would just keep typing in.
I caught myself doing that too. That's fascinating.
I'd be like, "You fucking phone, just give me the right word." Instead
I've never cussed out my phone. I don't think. Well, actually, yes, I have. Never mind.
Okay. You know what? Everybody can relate with that. Everyone has cursed technology and everything. But see, that's why I turned off my autocorrect because, and you know what? Yes, sometimes I misspell words on the internet. And then, I'm not even catching my own typos, which is what autocorrect is supposed to do. That is its purpose, and it should have been its singular purpose. It was to be like, hey, you spelled this word wrong. And what it should do is only show up after you've spelled the entire word and you're moving on to the next word. It should not do an autocomplete, because that's, I found myself, like anyone, becoming dependent on it, and that's another thing. So I stopped using calculators because I found my brain not giving a shit about doing calculations anymore. It came to a point where I wasn't able to multiply three-digit numbers over digit numbers in my head anymore, which is something
that's pretty difficult. That's always been difficult for me, though. So I can be with you on that one.
Oh, really? Well, actually, here's something really great for anyone listening, actually listens or anything. Go to a website called Khan Academy and sign up. You can sign up through Facebook. It keeps track of your progress. You can find out exactly where you are on any particular curriculum. And it covers everything that you can imagine, from biology to mathematics, computers. It's a fantastic little course, but it's very comprehensive. It's huge database and everything for anything that you want to do. So,
what's the name of this again?
Khan Academy.
Khan Academy.
Yeah, Khan. Like Khan.
Khan.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's put a link to that in the credits.
Into Darkness. Best movie.
Khan Academy Into Darkness.
Yeah. But you can find it through. Yeah, we'll definitely post a link to it.
Fantastic.
Okay, but now getting back back onto the topic of the singularity, we actually do need a break from our topics. So that's why we kind of bounce back and forth, is because I am unable to concentrate on one thing at a time, and I have to jump off on any little tangent that crossed my mind. So there we go. Anyway, so Wiener Ving.
Now, who is Wiener Vig?
Wiener Ving.
Wiener Ving?
I believe. See?
Werner Vinga.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Werner Vinga?
Sure, whatever. We're not
this guy with a bunch of V's in his name.
But no. Here's my favorite thing is, like, he actually made a list of 4 things that would characterize possibilities of singularity occurring, and they've predicted it, like I said, over the next 100 years, between the year 2017 and the year 2115. So it's over the next 100 years, the possibility of artificial intelligence becoming self-aware.
Okay, now I got to stop you here for a second, because you just said a few minutes ago that after 2099 we couldn't make any predictions.
Yeah, but they said it should happen. Well, I mean, even for futurists and everything, imagine going back to the year, say, like, which is why I got on the calculator thing, which is where that tangent came from, as go back there and imagine, you say, okay, go out to the beach in North Carolina in 1903, and imagine running across the Wright brothers and saying, what do you think this plane will be? What do you think the limits of aerodynamics and this plane that you're creating? What do you think the limits be on that? Like, they'd probably say, I'd say that, you could probably fly from here to California in 3 days. Right. Something like that, that'd be their best prediction.
I'd actually seen something about the Wright brothers not too long ago, and they said that one of them was actually on record saying we would never fly a plane from America to Paris or something, is what they said.
Yeah. So that's what happens. Even the inventors of a lot of these products and everything can't predict the future. So, and that's the thing about Ray Kurzweil, is he is a futurist, and he has nailed like a few of them, but I will say that he has gotten some things wrong, and there's a lot of people accuse Ray of having like this weird cult around him, but you want to tell you the honest truth is everyone's looking to him because he seems like the only rich person on earth looking for immortality. I would kind of like a piece of that. I'm not kidding. I would like to travel the universe, and the only thing I need is time to do it. And that's the one thing that we don't have. It's enough time to explore. I mean, sure, with living in a galaxy that's 125,000 light years wide, just our galaxy.
That's not a walk around the park either.
Yeah. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. That is a lot of room to cover for someone who is very interested in science and wanting to do space exploration. And you're like, something where you could have been an astronaut. Well, didn't get into the Air Force before I realized what I wanted to be. So you'd have to start out pretty young, and you have to be fit and healthy, which I can't pass any of those because I have, a problem with my leg and my back. So I could never be an astronaut now, not even if I was like, started working out. So that's why people want to be immortal, and that's something that Singularity promises to bring about. Life extensions, and that's one of the things we want. We realize that the universe is finite, even its existence is finite, but we would like to, have you ever looked at the stars and been like, it'd be awesome if I could go out, like be on Star Trek or whatever. For me, that's
every
what
day.
Yeah,
on Star Trek every day.
Yeah, and see that for me right there is one of the reasons that I really enjoy it. Star Trek. I would like to be in that future where you are able to go and explore different planets, where you're able to learn brand new things, meet different cultures, and everything. I would like to be some kind of steward of the universe. I know that these are ridiculous ideas that I'm having, but that's the thing I think that we owe if we turn out to be the forerunner, stewards and shepherds of upcoming civilizations.
And that's where you get the Halo music, because Forerunner.
Well, see, no, Forerunners, the only thing that okay, whenever people say that, we're just the first race within, it's possible we're the first race within this galaxy. Not all galaxies. There are galaxies stretching back almost within 400 million years of the beginning of the universe out there. I mean, all their dust is gone. We're a relatively new galaxy. We have been collecting tons and tons of other galaxies, but it's been so long since we collected our last galaxy that it's not really stretched out. Although the Milky Way is kind of warped in some senses because there are like little pieces of what they call them, dwarf galaxy out there. So I mean that might be leftovers from where we've hit other galaxies. And plus, we're on one side of the frisbee, and there's a great big light bulb in the middle, and we can't see what's on the other side. It's really, really hard to be able to predict. We really, just a best guess. Whenever you see a photo, it says, a photo of the Milky Way. It's just our best guess. We don't know what it is. We don't know. We really don't know what it looks like. And, we're just looking at other spiral galaxies, which seems to be the type of galaxy we are in. We're predicting that. But now that's why I like the Singularity, because I believe it will give me time to look around. I believe it will give me but, what would that matter if all data will be lost at the universe anyway?
Right. Can you explain how the Singularity would lead to immortality?
Really?
Yeah.
Advances in biological things, and you see right here, if you look, advances in biological synthesizing biology. I'm sorry, man. I just
tore up about a Singularity.
I threw a fucking book.
This is passion we're experiencing here.
No, you know what it is? Actually, what it is me being terrified of death, probably, which is why I really want it to happen. If anybody gets in my way, I'll probably hurt them. Because, that's one of the reasons de-appreciation of religion have come along, because I can see that they would stand in the way of something like that. Religion would stand in the way of going, even spirituality possibly, and which is so weird. Is like, I don't want to lash out at people. I don't want to be angry about all this, but I think that there is possible ways that if you can cure cancer, if you can stop the mutation of a cell, degeneration of cells, you can cure cancer. You can cure age, and that's all age is. Age is the degeneration of cells reproducing. It's what it is. Like they say, if you can cure cancer, you can cure the aging process. And that's what we want. We want to stop the aging process. Functional immortality. So that's what we're looking for. Okay, and functional immortality only means that you cannot die of natural causes. You can still be shot in the head, fucking dead, all this stuff.
This isn't like a Highlander situation. This is...
Yeah, you just, no more disease. Right. And that's what we're looking for. Functional immortality, no more disease, no more age, no more baldness, be able to patch up, even nanotechnology, be able to patch up every little part that you're looking for. Every little part that you're looking for. How ridiculous is that? But they'd be able to use that. But any little, any damage inside of it, people are like, well, what are the advantages of actually doing our technology even further? The advantages are, no more transplants. More people dying of anything stupid, like very curable diseases. You'd have something that lived inside your body and could automatically fight it, which is why, like the Center of Disease Control is being pushed toward nanotechnology, because people believe that this is the way of the future. But the only problem with the nanotechnology is how do you fire up the machine itself? I mean, no one knows. No one knows exactly how you're going to. I mean, they can have like very small power supplies, but they burn through it very quickly. So, but see, that's probably, I guess it sounds like desperation at some point. I want to live forever, and I want to tour the galaxy. That's all I want. And then I want to tour the universe. I want to look at I want to travel through time so I can visit that's not a joke. I mean, that is what I want. I know it sounds like I'm impossible.
So,
and then I want to go knock out God, and I want to take his throne. And that's what it sounds like I'm saying, just crazy things.
So basically, you want to be Doctor Who, is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That'd be fantastic.
That's actually kind of neat.
Yeah. See, but then you would have the possibility of doing that.
Right.
But then again,
we can't all be Doctor Who, though.
Yes, we could. Why couldn't we? You don't think the universe is big enough for that?
I don't
there
know.
are more. Okay, check this out.
That's why I have you here, because I don't know.
Okay, check this out. This is very important. Did you know there are more stars in the Milky Way galaxy than humans that have ever lived?
Wow, that I didn't know.
So, what makes you think that there would not be enough room in the universe for all of us? You want perspective of that, right?
Right.
Okay, if you imagine 100, what's our population size right now? 7 billion,
7 billion?
right?
Yeah,
right?
Somewhere around.
All right. That's not even close. I mean, you have to imagine if you would have to have like 300. You have like 300 billion stars inside the Milky Way galaxy, And then you have 70 sextillion stars in the universe. It's just a big circle, and it's the only thing we can see. And that's the observable universe. And there are spots in it. You know, if you ever actually take that 3D map, they turn it on the side and they make it look really pretty because you've got the big oval, and it's like there's actually great big gaps in it where they have not been able to actually use a telescope or anything to look in that particular direction. So anyway, on from that, but that's what I want. Is I just want to know what's in the universe. I want to know don't know why I'm so passionate about it that I would squash other ideas to the ground over it. But see, that's the thing. Is like I always perceived that if we do achieve the singularity, we do become part cybernetic, whatever. We probably won't even know what it's called anymore, you know? Once we achieve it, it'll be second nature. I mean, you know, you have to look at it like this. I've actually talked to people about this, and they were like, you know, I don't want my thoughts controlled by a computer. And then they go back to I don't want to be, you know, I don't want a computer built into my brain. Oh, hey, let me look at this up on Wikipedia, and it's already there. We're already
very
there.
rudimentary, but it's kind of there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not like me talking about, you know, people's perception of it is that it would be easily controlled. You know, I think religion proves that we can all read the same book and all become violently different conclusions about what that fucking book said. So I don't think there's any idea of that being a problem. You know, even if we do happen to be able to cohabitate the internet, which is what they perceive will happen eventually. That there will be people, your consciousness will be able to just become part of the net. You can exist there away from your body.
Some people kind of do already. Well, isn't that kind of like Second Life and stuff like that, or is that just?
No, I mean that's like your consciousness.
Oh, just you
being
just basically
alive.
Floating around, just bopping around.
Yeah, you can abandon your body.
Like
I mean, you know, that's the thing is. That's what they're looking for, is the idea that, you know, you would be able to abandon your body. Your biological bodies would not necessity other than for work.
Wow.
You can come in, plug in, gone, Matrix.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds so far-fetched, but you know what else sounded far-fetched whenever it was predicted? It was predicted that one day you'd be able to carry your home computer in your pocket. That's ridiculous, right?
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
A laptop, yeah, it doesn't anymore. Because it's there. Mm-hmm. And if I told you 100 years ago you could cook a meal 3 minutes, you'd be like, "Oh, you're crazy." You know, you burn it over the fire.
I'd say burn this heretic.
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
You know, you perceived, you know, because it's hard to perceive microwaves.
It probably like magic back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing it's doing is stimulating water particles inside of the food.
Right.
Everybody knows that, right? It's not something ridiculous.
Well, not now.
No.
I mean, back in the day, they probably.
But no, I mean, or like how an electric clock works. Do you know how an electric clock works? The digital clock.
Never really thought about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain it.
It's the frequencies let off by the electric company. They actually, if they, you know, like whenever you see the 1600 hertz, 1200 hertz, and everything, that's something you should actually pay attention to, is like what kind of hertz system your power company's on to. That's why some of them lose time, because there's algorithms and everything through it. It's actually what helps the digital clock keep time.
I did not know that.
It's pretty sweet, right?
It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
So, and they're allowed to control them. You know, anyway, that's not important. That's just how technology evolves. I mean, that's one of the big things, is people don't really realize how technology works. In the end, Benji, or whoever this guy is,
this V guy.
Anyway, it says that there's 4 different ways that the singularity may occur, and this is what we're looking for. We're just looking for AI to gain greater than human intelligence, or even human intelligence. You know, and that's one of the things that Ray Kurzweil says. Every time that a computer comes closer and closer to achieving this, they set the bar higher and higher. Be like, oh no, that wasn't a stepping stone. You know, like Deep Blue beating whoever.
Kasparov?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
I don't know. Just he's a chess player. Who cares?
I think he's a world champion chess player.
Yeah, I mean,
It's big news.
That means he's extra boring. I don't know.
Probably.
You know, and see, that's the thing, is like after what is it? Searching for
Bobby Fischer.
Yeah, Bobby Fischer. He turns out to be a real fucking jerk. You know that, right? Anyway,
right.
I don't know how that's important to what we're talking about, but very upset the first time that I actually get to read something about Bobby Fischer, who's supposed to be a genius, and you read it and you're like, God needs to get out of the house just a little bit more. That'd be pretty nice.
Right.
Fucking asshole.
It's kind of a weirdo, wasn't he, towards the end?
Yeah.
He kind of like
he
manifestos.
fucking
and stuff.
vanished for 20 years, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, then he comes back, he's like the Unabomber. Yeah, I can't imagine what happened. I mean, they
No
both.
telling.
Yeah, I think he said that something about Nazis. A lot talked about a lot
Yeah, he
Nazis.
said a lot of very bizarre stuff, I recall.
Yeah. Or maybe we're all part of a matrix and we just don't understand how our minds are being controlled, and they're just trying out different mind control techniques, and that's why we all stay at each other's throats. Which could be a possibility.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Wait, what? I mean, like, actually, do you know the Swiss are actually looking into that to see if we are part of some type of
yeah, they're actually looking into that.
make sure we're not part
Brains
of some
in a jar or something like that.
yeah, part of some type of a simulation, because they just don't understand how certain features in physics work. And they said that there's this weird constant that they can't break. Whenever you can't break variables, that means that there's something possibly, which is what they're predicting, that there's possibly that our lives don't matter, which is horrible. I mean, I believe that's horrible. If you found out that, like, you're just part of some video game, and they believe that the infrastructure that we operate on, as far as the physics and everything, are actually part of that world that we'd be if we were a simulation. But if they find out, I'm sure it'd be such a horrifying fucking idea to find out that you were just part of some.
Oh, I think it'd be close to the end of society. Obviously, you'd have people just go flying off the handle and like murdering and that sort of thing. Because
Really?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think so.
Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Don't be that guy. And
I don't want to be that guy.
And here's
I'm just saying
why.
That's what I think would happen.
Because you know what? That's exactly what religious people accuse atheists of doing. If there's no God, everybody's just gonna fly off the handle and start fucking murdering people. No, you know why? Because I don't want to go to fucking jail.
Right.
I don't know anybody worth murdering, and if I did, I could probably figure out a way to do it without anybody
there's
knowing.
a difference between not thinking there's like some giant Santa Claus in the sky and
No.
actually knowing your life doesn't matter because it's just a simulation.
Okay.
It's just the Matrix.
You know what? What does your life matter now?
I don't know if you should be asking me that question.
Well, I'm just asking
I mean,
anyone that. I mean, but anyway, that's the thing is, semi-atheist, I guess. I mean, I'm holding out. I hope.
So you're agnostic.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like I would like to say that, but there's not any proof. I mean, that's what I keep telling people. Is like, you're like, oh, you're a bad, you're not a good person because you're an atheist, But that's the thing is, a lot of us really, really, really would like to believe it, and I believe we've covered this before. I mean, all excuses, not ignoring the singularity. I mean, it's possible that a computer can gain awareness to its existence, and that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Or a network can gain, like the internet, realizes that's an existing thing and turns into a living being.
Like the computer in that Harlan Ellison short story.
Yeah.
I have no mouth and I must scream or something like that.
Or, or like the short film and everything that goes along with One by Metallica.
Oh, Johnny got his gun?
Yeah. Could you imagine waking up to something like that? I mean, but I wonder if the internet would just perceive itself as code or what. Because, the sprites and stuff they use to liven up the internet, I mean, the internet still looks just the same as it did when it was born. They just use photographs over top of everything if you don't know how a computer like digital design or works. What I'm saying, people are saying this right here is going to take us further and further from God, and if we don't die, that will. And I know the future holds fight between the singulars, I guess we could call them that, or rational people, and organics, nutty people. I'm just joking, because you know what? I already know what side I'm going to be on. I do. I mean, if it comes down, if we woke up tomorrow and you found out like a computer had gained consciousness and he was saying, hey, everybody can live forever, and and it made Ray Kurzweil king, that's the side I would be on. I'm sorry to all my friends.
Wouldn't you think that if a computer becomes self-aware or a network becomes self-aware, don't you think that self-preservation would be the way it would go? Because it wants to live too now.
Why would we stop it from living? Would we be like, hey, wow, this thing's...
people would.
Oh, yeah, I know. Because people...
Very powerful people would probably not want it to live.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I mean, that's what I'm asking. Why?
Because it's different. Why is anybody disagreed about anything? Because it's different.
You mean you're telling me that people wouldn't see the value in something increasing?
I'm saying people would freak out and would probably try to attack. Or
I would kill
like
them.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a joke. I mean, you want to talk about a coming war and everything. Stand between me and the threat and society becoming a first-tier society. You'll see.
All right.
I would fuck. And I know that sounds horrible. That sounds like very violent. But you know what? It's important to future generations that this happen. This is important to future generations that we're allowed to move on intellectually. It's important that we change our infrastructure, because what we have right now is failing. Religion doesn't control people. It controls a very small portion of people, and it's for lawmakers to control citizenry. And that's all it is. Yes, we are social, communal animal. The reason that religion comes into this, because possibilities with the singularity are going to step us right out of religion, because death will not be a real fear anymore. Especially if you're able to transfer your consciousness over into the internet, especially if you get a brain case, all this stuff. I know I can already hear someone out there going, "Oh man, you're talking about fucking Ghost in the Shell shit." I mean, just stop. I mean, you're being ridiculous. But it is possible, because at MIT they're able to take slices of mice brains, cut them up, and then rewire them on computer chips, processor chips. And those chips can play video games, fly planes on video games, drive cars.
That's crazy.
Those fucking brains are alive, and you can teach them things. And I'm not talking about a full brain. I'm talking about a piece of brain about the size of a postage stamp. And they use little pieces of, like protein powder and everything to tease out the brain cells, because that's what it likes to eat.
Right.
And they can use human brains, they can use mice brains, and an animal like a mouse being able to play a video game after death. I mean, that's pretty freaking impressive.
That is. That's actually really cool. You should link to that story if you can find it.
Oh man, it's everywhere. And that's my big problem, is that I don't think that people really realize how important it is for people to move on to this next step. And it's not important to us, because in all likelihood, we're all probably going to die. This is something that we're going to be leaving to our kids. Maybe they'll be able to be immortal. I hold out hope. I might be lucky enough to get out of it without, get through this life without dying, which is probably the most ridiculous thing. But I would really like to be immortal. I don't see anyone should try to keep me from my dream. Live in a world without disease, without death. And I don't believe it lies in some other plane after they die. I believe that there was an all-loving, all-caring God that we would have to, that he would have to offer us here. And if we had to play God, take that road, and make that world ourselves, I don't see a problem, because how could God deny us if we decided that we wanted to make our own garden? If we could get rid of death. That's why I don't like religion. It's because there's a lot of people who are going to be like, you're supposed to die. That's not natural, not dying. You know what? That is perfectly natural, not dying.
But in their defense, I think there's some people I really wouldn't want to see. In my defense.
Okay. What do you mean like that? I'm not getting it from you. But
damn it.
So anyway, but that's the thing, is like I don't think a good loving God would ever deny his children something like that. And well, who cares? My point is, it's something that I want to believe, and it's just like your God is something that you want to believe. And that's something I was going to talk about earlier, was like that. Ask any atheist. They'll tell you they really want there to be a God. They want to believe in God. And a misconception among people is that, scientists aren't religious people. And there's like 40% scientists practice religion weekly.
Right.
They don't hate it. I mean, there are a lot of atheists that are part of it. But you can talk to any atheist, and they'll tell you that if there was a God out there, even the most staunch atheist. I mean, and we'll have to go back. We'll have to talk about talk about Richard Dawkins. He doesn't. I don't know what his deal is. I mean, I like him, and I think, and I've actually owned The God Delusion and a couple of his books. Christopher Hitchens, that's the thing. Is like he was asked by Richard Dawkins, if you could just get rid of all of religion and everything, would you? And he said no. He said that it's because it's important for people to keep hope.
I agree with that.
Yeah. He said, if you met the very last person in the world who believed in God, and you had argument that squash it, would you? He said no. You think that'd be horrible. The only thing that he doesn't like about religion is the authoritarian. And I totally agree. And I can't imagine anyone that, I can't imagine people, because I realized I saw like a couple planes slam into some skyscrapers, I don't know, about 12 years ago. Yeah, I can imagine people like that. People bombing abortion clinics. People that I read posts from them on social networks every day. Yeah, I apologize. Yes, I totally can't imagine people who are so fucking crazy. They would kill to prove the love of their God. So ridiculous. It really is. I mean, anyway, So allow those little babies in abortion clinics to go up and be cherubs for your Lord and Savior, and I don't know what else to say. That's probably pretty offensive, right?
Maybe a little bit.
All right.
But that's okay. That's what we're trying to be known for. Being a little offensive.
Really?
Maybe.
I don't want to be offensive. Okay.
Maybe you do want to be a little offensive.
All right, gentlemen. It was fun talking to
Ladies?
everyone. Huh?
Ladies?
Oh, I was.
Ladies, or are you just calling me gentlemen?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Hey, you sexy, salty sluts. Yeah, I just tongued the microphone there. Come on, here. You can put the speaker up against your breast. Oh, that's how much.
Weird right now.
Yeah, that's how much we love the ladies here, and
True.
and plus we're slightly mentally retarded.
Slightly.
I mean, I'm not talking about.
I feel completely intellectually inadequate right now.
Why?
After 50 minutes of talking about singularity and stuff, because I'd never heard of this stuff before, and I've learned quite a few things. Actually,
Yeah, didn't you
I was
mention?
made aware of a few things, I should say.
Yeah, didn't you also mention that our official timekeeper of the show, Ron Thomas, was just talking about the singularity?
No, he was talking about 3D printers.
Oh, 3D printers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oops. So.
Well, actually, he was talking about a singular 3D printer.
Huh? Okay, fuck you. But that's actually be the topic of the next show that you hear. 3D printers. You have a great day, night, whatever. Who
Whatever
cares?
you're listening, have a good one.
Yeah. Peace out, homies.
Thank you.